Here we go. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the studio. We've got Kiba here to help us get things started off right. Making sure we have the appropriate amount of cat hair in every piece. Whoop! I'm hitting things. Let's get a good cuddle. A good cuddle. There we go. Yes. There we go. There's that happy face. He is purring. His face never looks like it's happy, but he is purring. There we go. Ready to go for a spin? Ready to go for a spin? Ooh. As long as I pet you in there, right, buddy? So welcome to the cat pottery stream. Today I'm going to be doing some more throwing. I'm going to make some new products that I've made samples of before, but my samples have been approved, so I'm going to make some more of them. They are bird bottles. And I don't know if I'm actually going to put one up here because I think it might tempt the cats too much. But bird bottles are an old-fashioned birdhouse that you put on, you attach to the side of your house. And so this is a bird bottle. So it has a hole in the back, and it's got a couple of holes in the side here. I don't know if this will work because it's all dirty. But you can put, I'm gonna break that if I do it. I was gonna show you how this thing works. Maybe I think I'll need to make my holes bigger next time, but you put a stick in the side, and it sits there so birds have somewhere to perch. And so it's basically a pitcher with some holes in it. As far as like I am concerned, is like the shape I'm making. And that's actually the person that commissioned it was looking at my pictures, and they're like, you know what? Like, could you make a bird bottle? And I said, what's that? And they were like, well, the width of your small pitchers and the height of your big pitchers with a smaller opening. And I do need to make the openings a bit smaller on these. That was the only changes we needed. So I'm going to do that. But the bird bottles, the reason they go on your house, they don't go on a tree, which you could very well put it on a tree if you wanted to. But they go on your house because it was a old-fashioned form of pest control, because the birds would eat the bugs that would try to come into the house. And the fun part is like that they're going to be in all the bright colors. They wanted them pink and yellow and orange and purple and red and everything, so. We're going to have some bright, colorful kiln openings. What? Now, buddy, I'm going to have to ask you to move. Hey, what's the nibble for? Okay. I'm going to have to start making some of these. Oh, that tail. I know that's not really the view anybody wants to see, but it's what we got to work with. So I've got some 3-pound pieces I'm going to start off with here. I feel like I need to move this so it's not like directly in Kiba's path. But so I'll set it over here for now and kind of reference it when I need to. Which actually, let's go ahead and measure it. So I know how big it is. And then I can set my guide easier. Alright, so I want this one to be at least 9 inches tall. Oh, plop. Ooh. Maybe they wanted a swirly one. That's what this one certainly wants to be. So I'm gonna trim a little bit off of here. I'm gonna measure the height. You see how far away I am. It needs to be a bit taller. So I'm gonna do this. If it wasn't so wobbly, this would have been a bit easier. So I gotta do something different next time. Sometimes the first piece you make is like your throwaway piece, so it's your warm-up, but I'd really rather this not be a throwaway piece. Let's see how tall it is now. Here we go. Well, that's a 10-inch cylinder. And that is like almost to the top of the like the mugs up here, so that's a good visual reference for me. I'm gonna pop that little air bubble on the inside. Smooth it back down. Nope, not that fast. That was a bubble, yes. They wanted the neck to be a lot narrower. And now this is going to shrink some, so I'm going to measure this and then inside, that's 3. So that's okay. I want that inside dimension to be 3 inches because that'll shrink down to 2.5. So that's good. And I'm not worried about the unevenness of the rim at all because we'll pick the thicker side and we will make a little spout there. And that'll give us a good little spot there to drill a hole right there for our little bird's perch. Okay. Hey, avocado. There's a little bit of water, more water in there. So this is going to be a bird bottle. So they wanted it when it was ordered. They wanted it like the width of the small pitchers, but like the height of the big pitchers. So I'm using 3 pounds, which is right between the two. And so this is a bird bottle. And I had a little paintbrush while ago. I'll have to get another. So there will be a hole in there that you can put a stick. So your bird can perch. And it's a little birdhouse. And it's got a hole. It's going to have a hole in the bottom or the back. So you can hang it on the side of a house or a tree if you so choose. But like instead of hanging from a tree branch, they put them on. You put them on your house, and it's a old-fashioned way to of pest control. Because birds will like eat the bugs and stuff. And there've been several like uncovered in excavations in like I want to say like colonial Virginia. As something and like as a product description on like a list of things that local potters would have made regularly for people. So it was a pretty common thing. Williamsburg? I think Williamsburg. And so I was asked to make some of those, and they gave me the description of what they wanted and the sizes and stuff. I made some that was one of my prototypes, and they approved of it. I made another one and they liked that one too, so they're like, hey, let's do both of them. So since the designs were approved, I am making them. And people who ordered it, it was the Audubon National Park. So I'm hoping that's a place where they will get lots of use. And the fun part is, like, they want them in all the bright colors. They're like, no, we want pinks and yellows and oranges. They love, when they order mugs, like their logo mugs, they get a lot of the cotton candy. They love that color. But I imagine, like, it might be a colorful place if they, like, a lot of things, if they have a lot of bird things, because birds are colorful. So they do like all the bright colors. Look at that chicken leg. Lucy, thank you for the follow. So I will probably get around to mugs today, but first we're going to be doing these, and then I'm going to be doing the large yarn bowls, and then hopefully we're going to do some of the regular yarn bowls and small yarn bowls, and then get to mugs. Because we always need more mugs, but I wanted to get some of these bigger things out of the way. I don't know why it's like that. I'm going to go ahead and make this part a little bit thinner before I go to the bottom part again. Turn that down. Figuring out why it wants to be so wonky. Though I am holding my arm a little bit at an unusual angle because it's tall and skinny, and I'm not used to holding my arm out that wide. It actually it's hard to balance it. You're supposed to keep your arms like next to you, but when you got something this big, this tall, it's hard to do that. Get some of that water out of there. All right, let's make it a bit taller. I'm trying just to go at the same speed that the wheel is turning. There we go. I didn't even measure that other one, but it was okay. I'm sure it was okay. Give this a bit more curve at the bottom. There we go. Glitter Queen, hey! Not often. I mean, it's just me here using it. I get the chunky stuff out of the bottom because you don't want it, you know, sitting in there and slowing it down. It builds up after a while, but I don't use a ton of water, so it doesn't like build up as much as it used to. So. Okay. There we go. So it looks like a picture, but it's actually going to be a birdhouse. I like it. Yep, I got the water out of there. Builds up on the keyboard. I don't clean the keyboard either. Here we go. That was a pretty shape. One of these days I might actually make vases. I'm getting better at I made a bunch of the oil bottles and now I'm making these. Have I ever made an urn? I have made a pet urn before, so it was little bitty. But I have made that before, but it was like, it was a container, like it wasn't sealed, so it was like they just put a little like Ziploc bag in it, so it didn't completely seal everything, because it was just a container with the pet's name on it. So. That was actually for one of our local veterinary offices because their shop kitty had passed away that they'd had for years and years. Oh yeah, you've got a little metal urn for Viv, yeah. Yeah, this one was, we actually used a decal for it, so it was a small little vase in the shape of a cat, and we put like an image of the cat on it, and then had her name on the other side. And I'm sure it's on our Instagram somewhere, but I don't remember when it was. I get asked about them, you know, every so often, but I think by the time people think about it, like, they don't want to think about it anymore, so I understand, like, people inquiring and then not, you know, following through. And you've got a pendant. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people doing those too. I have been given ashes remains and wanted someone wanted me to incorporate that into a pot, a glaze, which all you do is just mix it in, because it's not really, unless you ground it really fine, it's not gonna like melt all that much. Because bone ash is what is that calcium carbonate? I forget exactly. Like, calcium carbonate can come from many places, but I think like that's also could be bones. All right, Spook. We'll see you later. I actually don't remember. I knew at one point. I forget though. I forget. I know it's like held at that temperature longer, and I know that much. Well, okay, so it has to be, a kiln temperature has to be hotter, because I can melt the ashes, so it has to be hotter than cremation temperatures. It has to be. But then we also, like, when doing the raku, I've done a whole lot more of the raku memorial pieces than I have urns, because I had somebody send me like several different I've done several different horse memorials over the years with the horse hair, and then I know at least one dog and one cat we've done like the hair with. Alright, I'll have to trim this one off. It's a bit too much wobble. 14 to 16? Okay, okay. Yeah, and I go up to 22, so cremation is similar to firing of glass. It might be raining. Okay. Okay, I want to make that a bit narrower. Before I do that, I'm going to get my hand down in there still and get the water out of the bottom. All right. Is that to melt or mold the glass, or is that to make it into glass? Ooh, that's a good question. I think, so I know that is slumping temperature, so I'm thinking melting might be like 1400 rings a bell. Well, maybe it's 1200. I don't know. I don't know. I just know slumping glass is a lower temperature. Of course, melting it into liquid is higher. So like a crucible that had, not crucible, but like a furnace that has, like, for glass blowing that actually holds the glass, that would be hotter. And then there's different types of glass that melt at different temperatures. So you got a whole thing there. 1400 degrees Fahrenheit is the melting point of aluminum. That I know. It's like roughly that. It's like 740-ish is like molten aluminum. Because I used to work in an aluminum recycling center. Here we go. So I think this one was a little bit wider than the other, but they're all going to be very similar. I'd like to have the rim a bit thicker. Hey, Minnie. Yeah, you're all wet. So as far as glass, like, I know that if I put little glass beads in the bottom of a pot and fire it to glaze temperature, it will actually, yeah, it will completely melt it. But some types of glass won't do anything in a bisque. And that's 1800. So there's glass has different melting points. We'll have to ask, like, Valencia Glass. They stream their glass blowing studio here on Twitch. Said, hey. Looks like it could be used in an ancient Greek set piece filled with wine. Yes, if I wasn't gonna, like, cut holes in it. Yeah, pitcher. What if it was gonna be Greek? It would have like 2 handles on it. That's what I think of when I think of a Greek vase. Like, no spout, just like 2 handles. But this form is based on an old-fashioned birdhouse called just a bird bottle. I hear somebody coming. Hey, here she is. Yeah, with pictures of Hercules on them. Now I'm going to have the Hercules song stuck in my head. Bless my soul. All right, I'm coming. Hold on, hold on. Kate, hello. Good day to everyone. That's a good greeting that kind of works with every time zone, right? Good day. Even if it is evening. And now I've got 0 to hero from Hercules stuck in my head, and I blame you. Keck. Though there are many worse things to have stuck in your head. It's actually a pretty good song. 3089th, whoa! Thank you for the resub! Thank you for the 54 months! Thank you for helping us, thank you for supporting the studio, and most importantly, helping us keep the cats in kibble. Because we do have our priorities in order here. Whoa! Pop! Thank you for the raid! Welcome, everybody! Hey, good afternoon! What is all this? Welcome, welcome! Here we go. So let's pick a side to make a spout. Let's do it right there. And it's a raid from Singapore. Wow! Well, welcome to Kentucky, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So what time is it there? Thank you so much for bringing everybody over. If you're new to the channel, my name is Amanda, and I am Pauly Studios everywhere else, but we are Play in the Mud here on Twitch, and that is exactly what we're doing today. We are making a few new items today, and with the help of my two cats, of course, the true stars of the show. Long way away, yeah, long distance. This is going to be a birdhouse. Specifically, they call them bird bottles. So, get that finished, and I'll show you what it's going to look like. But I am a full-time potter here in Kentucky. This is what I do for my job. We stream the process, kind of showing everybody how it's done. You set that one down. Yeah, this is what I would be doing, you know, whether or not I was streaming. So we're just so grateful for everybody coming in and hanging out with me. Cats and pottery, yes. So this is a bird bottle. It's got a hole. It's gonna have a hole in the back of it, so you can hang it on a wall, or on the outside of your house. And then it's got holes right here, so you can put a stick or something on there. I'm like, where did the green come from? It came from that. So the birds can perch and use that as a birdhouse. And it is a very old-fashioned form. It was used a long time ago to you would put them on your house instead of hanging them like on a tree in your yard. You would put them on your house because, like, the birds, it was as a form of pest control, because the birds would eat the bugs that might try to come in the house. So cats take quality control very seriously, yes. It takes a lot of energy and time and energy to supervise a pottery studio, so they are taking a well-deserved break. Will the birds not poop everywhere? Yes. I would assume so. So maybe make sure you put it over grass. I don't think it would end up being on the side of the house, though, if they're in the pot. Is there a cat hair problem for the pottery operations? Oh no, that cat hair is actually what holds everything together. Didn't you know that? So we actually say that there is a 2% cat fluff in every piece, guaranteed. Guaranteed. But luckily, it burns out in the kiln. Oh, ducks, yeah. Hey guys, thank you for all the new follows. Pottering? That's a good word. Throwing. Throwing is the word for the technique that I'm doing right here. I don't know, sometimes I feel like birds, like when they're flying overhead, they poo in formation. Like, seriously, I came out of my apartment one day, like, and my car, there was like no trees around. No trees whatsoever. And so I thought my car had, like, it looked like somebody had just dumped white paint on it. it was that bad. It was like a group of birds just flew overhead and all had a pit stop at the same time. I don't know. I'd understand it if I was sitting under a tree or something. But maybe bird poop is a having to clean up some bird poop is a good trade-off for pest control. But over here we have, so Minnie is the gray one, and then Kiba is the great big one in the back. And they live here in the studio. Like I said, they're my supervisors and door greeters. Oh, a goose. Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you guys so much. $30.89. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. You're awesome. Kiba and Minnie will get extra treats today. In this house, we throw things. Yes. I've got an apron that says I've been known to throw things. It's getting some of the water out of the bottom. Do they also work as bouncers to shoo away bad customers? Like, only if they don't like cats. They don't shoo anybody away. Kiba will let pretty much anybody come and pet him. Kiba thinks that anybody that comes in the studio is here to see him, because most of the time they are. Like, we're a production facility, so we aren't very presentable out in the front. And so when people come in, it's usually because they see a cat in the front window, so they want to come pet the cat, which... And I cannot say anything. I want to complain about it, but I can't say anything, because if I saw a cat in a window, I would do the same thing. But Kiba's losing his hearing, so he's not as vigilant as he once was when... with greeting visitors. There's a shop with a window husky and you want to go in and cuddle him so bad. Oh yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, our neighbors had a puppy in their shop for a long time until it grew up and got too big. They were hoping to have it as a shop dog, but it was too hyper. And big and hyper don't always make a safe combination. Oh my gosh, they are so adorable. Look at that little paw. Look at the hug. Look at the hug. Okay. I think that one's done. Okay. It's 5 of these. I'm going to make 8 of each style, and they're very similar. It's just very slight differences. The other version is not going to have a spout. Your dog would make a lovely shop dog. You've been known to drop her off at the bead shop when you're in the city because the shopkeeper adores her. Oh. Yeah, it's all about temperament. I know you had an unusually large Rottweiler, and who was also very friendly. It was a problem because she would tackle people to the ground and lick their face. Yeah, they don't know their own strength. And Cade, your Rosie is loud and barky about visitors at home, but at the shop, it's not her territory, so she just loves on everybody. That's interesting. Yeah, what's hilarious is, like, Kiba, he doesn't like other cats, but he's not super aggressive towards other cats. He's just not friendly. And so if stray cats come out back, like, he usually just, I mean, he's big, too, so he just kind of sits there and growls. But Minnie, wait, what am I doing? Okay, gotta remember what I'm making here. I started to make a platter, because I was making those earlier. But, like, Kiba doesn't chase anything off. He's never, like, chased anything away. But Minnie, she's little bitty. She's only, like, 7 pounds. And she, if another cat tries to come up and, like, sniff around our back lot, like, she will chase them. So she's got a little air tag on her because I got worried that she would run off and not come back. Stay with me now. Okay. And all these little bits of clay that I'm cutting off, or that come off on my hands, I'm putting them in my scrap pile, and they will be reused later. It's like the clay I'm using today is mixed up of my scrap pieces from yesterday, because we just mixed them together 50-50 with fresh clay, so we're not wasting anything. Oh, now you're getting acupuncture snuggles, yes. There we go. That looks good. So looking to see if I had like another browser up or something, because I thought I heard words. I thought I heard silence. It sounded like somebody talking, but it might be somebody outside. Yeah, I got the water out of there. What is the smallest thing I've ever made or thrown? Let's move this guy out of the way. Hey Cade, welcome back everybody. So the smallest thing I've made, yes, I have I've done some small things. I was like a challenge we did one time. If everybody's familiar with like the Great Pottery Throwdown, it's at it's like several seasons now. It's a very successful show, and they do different challenges and kind of, you know, put people compete against each other to make various things. And one of the challenges they did one time was to make like itty bitty tiny pots, and we actually did a pottery throwdown with all the different potters on Twitch one year. And so we did that every week. We would all do the same challenge and then, you know, post our results. And I've got them around here somewhere. I think my little this one broke, but I made an itty bitty mug. See, a thimble mug, but the handle broke off because I dropped it. But then I even put a little paw print on it. But so that's like almost like no clay at all. It was itty bitty. But yeah, it is like, it can be like a different skill set, because you have to put like such a small amount of pressure on a piece, on the clay, to move it around. That's the difference between throwing like mugs and things, small things, and like bigger things. Like even what I'm doing right now is only 3 pounds of clay. It's not really any different than throwing a mug. But like when you get up into the 10-pound pieces and bigger stuff, like you're using so much more of your body to move the clay around. You're not using, like right now I'm using mostly my fingertips and maybe the sides of my fingers. Like when you throw big things, you're like using the side of your hand and sometimes the side of your arm. So it is a bit of a different skill set, I feel. Or at least different techniques to get used to it and to do it efficiently. For that one, I could get my finger inside of it. There was one, I don't know if it's still up here or not, or if it fell as well. Nope, it's still over here. I don't even think I ever fired it. I think it's still just clay. Where I made a little vase, and of course it doesn't have anything on the inside. I just made a shape, because if I would have had to use like a needle tool to get down in there to open it up, but I just made a solid shape. Yeah, the little pieces are cute. They are. And I've considered doing things like that, small things as like Christmas ornaments, but then I never get around to it because by the time Christmas comes around, I'm usually pulling my hair out. Easier to let it harden than carve out the inside. I mean, if you can get to the inside of something like that little, yeah, probably have to leave a bigger opening. Just getting the water out of the inside while I can. Here we go. That's a good side. Here we go. Yeah, you could also like push mold two halves and join them, yes. So besides the cutting of holes, those like don't need anything like handles or anything. I'm gonna make one more of those. Because I need 10 of them, and so I'm gonna make 16. That way, if I lose any, if something cracks or breaks or whatever, I've got extras, and then I'll have extras for myself to put into stock. You're interested in doing some ceramics for your miniature work? Yes, you've recently discovered microwave kilns, which seem like a workable solution for miniature items. Yes, people usually like use those for like a lot of jewelry and stuff. Not a lot. It's a very like small like test type kiln. What type of ceramic pieces are you making for miniatures? When I think miniatures, I think of like wargaming, like Warhammer and 40K and stuff like that. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I've seen people do even like a raku firing in those, like take it out and then like add horsehair to it and stuff like that. Oh, dollhouse. Okay. So maybe not as small as like the gaming miniatures. Slow that down a little bit. Try not to hit the camera with my elbow. Okay. That works. So I can see what you mean now. Like the little mug that I made would have to be like half that size. That's kind of like as big as a Barbie doll's head. So I'm thinking like Barbie doll furniture and stuff like that. Where is the other one? Here it is. So this one, ooh, it echoes. is the other version, which it's going to have more of a straighter rim. I need to make this smaller, but it still has the hole in the back, and instead of having the spout, it's got a little strap handle here to put the paintbrush on. But this one I need to make the strap a little bit smaller because it's kind of like hangs down, or have this stick out a little more. So that's the other style. So almost the exact same form, just no spout. Okay, Barbie's about 1/6, 1/12. They're 12-inch dolls, but 6 scale. Okay. All right, let's get something to drink. Oh yeah, it's amazing how many of the craft skills miniature making encompasses. It's pretty much all of them, just but smaller. Yeah. Where's my ruler? There it is. It's like, where'd my ruler go? Okay. Did I leave myself enough room to get in there and get the water out? That's the question. Lori, hey! Can I do it? Oh, there we go. Just barely. All right. And so I'm going to pick a side and actually, while it's really soft, like kind of press a section out here, make a spot for the hole. And that way I'll be able to kind of judge my how big my loop needs to be. And so this is going to be a birdhouse. Or a bird bottle. If you're just joining me for the first time, that's what I'm making today. It is a very old-fashioned birdhouse that was used also as a form of pest control. So they actually put them on the side of the house instead of hanging them in a tree. And so this was my prototype. And so you put them on the side of your house, and this one is going to have a little like handle here. And you put a stick in there, and the bird has a little perch to sit and feed the babies. But it was used as a early form of pest control because like the birds would eat the bugs that would try to come in the house. And I've had an order for these commissioned. And they have approved the design, so I'm making them. Bird jug! Yep. I've been thinking, like, is there anything, should I call them anything besides a bird bottle? But that's the most common term for them, so if somebody was going to search for it, they'd probably search for that. So I probably just need to keep it simple and call it a bird bottle. Plus, it's got alliteration on its side. Whoop, 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 whoop. That was my keyboard. I wish I could be as relaxed as Minnie is right now. I mean, like, look at that. That is, like... She's, like, on 3 different pillows. So I'm doing some of my bigger pieces today. This is, like I said, the bird bottles, and then I'm going to be working on some of the large yarn bowls, and then the medium yarn bowls, and maybe even some more of the small yarn bowls. Come on now, stay with me. There we go. Okay, now let's get the water out of here. Put it on the outside of the pot. Here we go. And narrow this up. That was the only change they wanted, was that they needed the necks to be narrower. So I'm guessing it's for small birds. I don't know. Birdhouses like tend to have just really small holes. So maybe all birds are, or maybe birds are liquids just like cats. I don't know. Now I'll trim this off. And see how big that is. So that is going to be like around 2 inches or so when it's done. So that's like, yeah, it's good and small. Because it's going to shrink. Like right now it's like 2.5 inches, so it's going to shrink down to about 2. Smooth this out some. It's a good shape. And then I'll just pick a spot to make a little area there. That's where the hole's gonna be. And then let's maybe make that rim round again. And then we'll have a spot for the handle. I'm going to make 8 of these. This is number 2, so we got 6 more to go. I think I like the version with the pitcher version the best myself, but they like both of them. Go. I forget occasionally that I've put the camera over there. Here we go. get a little bit more off the bottom, but maybe go a bit slower. There we go. There's a little bit of water in there. Skinny hands for the wind. For the win. Only skinny part on me. Okay. And that is why they make a sponge on a stick for people that don't have skinny hands to get inside of stuff like that. I set this one over here so I could carry two at once, but this is... I don't know what they're doing outside. I'm gonna go see what they're doing outside. I don't know, I can't see it. Something's like squeaky outside. I need some more tiles. Oops, sorry, that was my elbow. Ooh, time for some ramen. Crazella, hey, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody, and good afternoon. Crazella, hey! Thank you again for the raid. What were you working on today? There we go, and that one's actually pretty level. Worked on a digital character and then played some Baldur's Gate 3. Sounds like a productive afternoon. I am making some birdhouses. And I wonder now if this should be a little bit lower down. I'm going to do that. Yeah. All right. This is going to be what is called a bird bottle. And I'll show you what the completed piece looks like. So, and I'm making the top narrower than this one, but this was my prototype. It's got a hole in the back, so you you hang it on the side of your house, and then put a stick through the hole. It's gonna have a little like strap handle here, hold the stick on, so your bird can have a place to perch. And it is a very old-fashioned style of a birdhouse that people used to use it as a form of pest control. Put the birds, have them on the side, actually on your house, so the birds will eat the bugs that try to come in the house. This is something brand new that has been commissioned. So this is the first batch after my prototype. Prototype was approved, and then I'm just now starting to make them. Oh yeah, I understand. Don't leave the kids waiting. But again, thank you for stopping by. And we will see you later. There we go. Slow it down again and then get to the bottom there. Get some more of that clay up. And again, try not to elbow the camera. Back with snacks. Do the cats care about your ramen? Well, one of our cats used to be a garbage disposal. He would go after whatever you had. Didn't matter what it was. He wanted to at least see what it was and sniff it. But he's gotten to the point now that I think he's comfortable now and knows that there's always going to be food. So he's gotten picky. Like he no longer wants crunchy bacon. He only wants wiggly bacon. Oh, your Neil will eat anything. That's 5 of those. So we will do 3 more. Neil once chewed through the back of dry food. Another time, the cat dip container. Yeah. We had a cat once who figured out how to unscrew the top of the cat food container. Never had anybody since who figured it out. Your Gaz knew how to open drawers, nightstands, dresser, and everything to steal the hair ties, yes. Whenever I run out of hair ties, I know it's time to move the couch and clean underneath the couch. Colleen, hey! Good afternoon, and thank you for the resub. Thank you for the 73 months. Good afternoon. Wolfie Bread, hey! Master of all things earthbending, yes. I will accept that title. Today I've been working on my bird bottles, which are a new product. I made some prototypes, I guess last week maybe. And they were approved. And so these are going to end up going to the Audubon National Park. And here we go. Bird bottles. It is a old-fashioned birdhouse. I'll show you the prototype in a minute. Gotta make 2 more. So it's going to hang on the side of a wall or side of a house specifically, and you put a stick through the hole that's going to be right there. Put put a stick in there so the bird can have somewhere to perch. And so they can get to the babies. But it is a old-fashioned method of like pest control, because birds eat the bugs that would come into the house. And so there were like several bird bottles referenced in older like production pottery, like catalogs, if catalog is the right term. And I want to say it was like Williamsburg, Virginia, like where several of them were excavated around houses. So it was a common product. Spooky, yeah, you want a bat house? I didn't realize those were so big. Somebody was saying they're like almost like 3 foot. Or at least some of them can be. Kiba and Minnie are cuddling, yeah. Or at least sharing the cat bed. They've been on pretty good terms here lately. So I'll make 2 more of these, and then I'm going to make some more larger things. I'm going to make some of the large yarn bowls. It counts as cuddling. Yeah, they're touching. Yeah, he's still kind of leaning on her. Turn it down a little bit while I get the last of this clay up off the bottom. Get some of the water out of there. You have come to inspect the vase. Whoa, Looney, thank you for the raid. Welcome. Just don't wake up the cats. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing on this Wednesday? See, I do know what day it is. I don't always. This is actually going to be a birdhouse, a bird bottle. Right, Spook? Yeah, we don't need a jacket at all. I've even got my capris on. So this, I'm going to put a little indentation right here where I'm going to put a hole later on. And might make that a little bit smaller. Opening just a little bit smaller there. There we go. Junie, hey. When you were really young, your mom had you signed up for a ceramics class, so this is super nostalgic. Yeah, welcome. Every Wednesday you'd make a little clay figure. Nice. So what were you working on today? How was your stream? Okay, I'm going to make one more of those. And I'll show this off again. So what this is going to be is a bird bottle. It's an old-fashioned birdhouse. It's gonna have a hole in the bottom so that it can hang on the side of a house, and then you can put a stick, and it'll get a little handle here at the top to kind of hold the stick in place so the bird can perch. And like I was saying when y'all came in, it's an old-fashioned way to like a version of pest control, because you put the birdhouse on your house and the birds eat the bugs that try to come in the house. You were animating a little fox popping onto screen and dropping a present. Oh, cute. Yeah, this is an order I'm working on. These are actually brand new products. I made some prototypes last week, and they were approved, so I can continue on the order. You know what? I don't hear the music anymore now that you mention that. I wonder why. I think it's just really soft. Okay, there we go. So this is 3 pounds of clay, and this is going to be the last one of these I'm going to make, and then I'm going to switch to 4 pounds of clay and make some yarn bowls. There's a Kiba. Good morning, buddy. Nope, not awake yet. Oh, you didn't need the music. My Bluetooth speaker just disconnects every once in a while. The cats are full-time employees. They are our official door greeters and supervisors. You can tell they're hard at work, because it takes a great deal of time and energy to manage a pottery studio. It requires several trips to inspect the food bowls. Managers of nap time, yes. And try to get a little more clay off the bottom here. There we go. I'm just waiting for a bite here in a minute. Oh! Top-down cam. It's not usually that one. Hold on. Where's my mouse? Okay, I'm going to stop this and I see what's happened. My mouse is not working either, so I've just got to refresh this thing over here. Let's unplug it and plug it back in. Wheel. Alright, I'm going to have to go to the actual computer. And Minnie's going to get all excited because she thinks I'm done. I'll be right back.